Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a dynamic effort bench day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. Alright, I started later in the day, which also meant I get to use chains. I don't like to use chains at 6 in the morning and things like that. I do have neighbors. So I started later, didn't start training till about 8 o'clock, maybe later. So I went ahead and used chains. I did 10 sets, and again, we're going back to what we know, even though I'm now slow cutting down, going back to what we know so far built me up to that 365 close grip. And that's the speed bench. We didn't do floor presses and stuff today. I'm going to do those on max effort day, but we did a ton of triceps and delts. Ton of triceps, ton of delt work. Building that work capacity back up on the band press downs. Want to make sure my delts are strong because my chest gets plenty of work with the other stuff. Not worried about it. It might matter, some of it, and using the McDonald bar more here and there if I ever decide to work in some wide grip again. But honestly, I don't know if it's worth it to me to do so. If I can get to a 405 with a close grip, then who cares? Who cares what my wide grip is? I'm faster, I'm tighter, get a cleaner bar path with close grip. So what? I have to move the bar a lot further. Doesn't matter. But we did 10 sets of this because since I'm not going to do any auxiliary chest pressing, I'm like, look, I need to do 12 sets. So we did 12 triples, still got plenty of chest work, felt a good chest pump, but also lots of tricep. Then afterwards, we went straight into the JM presses, 5 sets of 10, and I just stuck with 135. I'm like, look, let me see if I can get these tighter, just work on the triceps. And actually I did pretty short breaks because I started so much later in the day, and I really wanted to complete this workout in less than 2 hours. And I did. I think I got it done in about, just over an hour. Because people ask how long these take. Sometimes my workouts take 3 hours. And it has to do with if I'm working on stuff, long breaks, what I'm doing, talking to clients, other stuff, what I have going on in between sets. Today I did this straight through, no breaks, and it took me less than an hour and a half to just get it all done. And all things considered, it's fair amount of volume. We got the breaks down reasonable, supersetted the last 2 exercises because they're smaller movements, right? And just got it done. But accordingly with these JM presses, I didn't go as heavy, but because the breaks were pretty short for me, maybe not short for some of you. Because I did 30 seconds on the speed bench, about 30 seconds between sets. A couple minutes on all this assistance work, about 2 minutes or so, give or take. I didn't time it exactly. But these still got a hell of a tricep. Not really pump. I don't get a tricep pump from this. It's like I would describe it as more of a burn or like a dull ache. It feels like the muscle's been kind of tenderized a little bit. And I think that's the difference with the mechanical tension versus true pump work, like the band press downs, which gave me a hell of a pump. But in this case, I think this works, and I'll slowly work this up, but I want to get quality work in with one plate aside. And by the 5th set, it felt like I was almost at failure. It got really hard at the end. So the work is there. But again, a speed bench against chains, and that's all close grip. We were getting a fair amount of tricep work still. Overall, this was actually for a lot of people would be a complete tricep day. Not going to be for me. All right, 1 arm dumbbell rows. These are going to be a staple. I feel these the most right now, and I love the seal rows. Don't get me wrong. They work the back in a whole different way. And I think long term I will get a seal row bench once I have a garage and move the home gym to a garage by end of year. We'll probably do that and then work with both. But I'm like, right now, these give me all the lat work I need between the speed pulls, right? They work the arms, they work the grip, but I'm like, let me get other stuff that works the biceps and grip. And I felt like my bench was doing so well when I was doing the upright rows. I don't know, I feel like for me there's great carryover, plus they train my grip also. Right, between these 2 movements and then the speed pulls against bands, my grip work is getting really, really up there. And if I really want more lat work, I could always throw in some axle bar rows or something on my squat and deadlift days right? Because the volumes on those isn't super high these days. If I needed to, I could work it in. But even then, 10 sets of this every week, if I do 5 both days, is still a lot of lat work, especially considering I'm doing speed pulls every week. Hey, and my deadlift is doing great, and it's definitely not limited by my lats. And I don't get overuse from this stuff anyways, right? And that's the name of the game. Let's be honest, what always causes me overuse or issues is anything where I raise my arms over my head. We just take out the overhead pressing, take out the pull-ups. None of it's necessary. None of it's necessary, but I also increased the weight on these. I went up to 105-pound dumbbells for these. And again, the breaks were pretty short on this stuff. It was getting really challenging near the end. But, you know, this is really all that I need for my back. My lats are pretty genetically blessed. People always, when they see me, have done pull-ups and stuff shirtless in the past. People realize how big my back is. It's fine. And it'll probably still grow from this. But then I'm also not beating myself up. I can do the movements to really hit the stuff that is going to matter even more, and that's going to be the whole upper back, shoulders, triceps. Name of the game. But that upper back still needs all that work too, because that seems to impact my squats. Impacts them a lot, especially at meet time. And I'm going to be changing some stuff on my refeed strategy. I've talked to some other experts and friends of mine. You know, who again work with elite athletes in multiple sports, and I got some real good ideas for making my refeed work even better this next time. But you know, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Part of me is tempted to go to the 220 after Worlds, since I'm already qualified and everything. I'm already qualified for nationals next year in the 198 if I want him to. I could always go to 220 later also. And I may do that. I may see if things go well and I knock down the deadlift record and everything as planned, take gold at Worlds, I may want to go up to the 220 just so I can move a lot more weight and just get leaner and leaner at the 220. Be way easier water cuts and just keep stacking muscle and losing fat. You know, there's no reason I can't be squatting over 600 pounds. Really isn't. There's no reason I can't be deadlifting 700. And people will say, well, you know, that's good, but it's not world class in the 220. And in my age class, it is. That's what people have to remember is the difference. I'm not even sub-masters or masters 1 anymore. I'm masters 2. Just got to keep my conditioning up, keep my diet perfect. No junk food. You know, watch my health. It's going to be important. Upright rows, though, these felt good. I went back. I was doing 160 last time I did them. I went up to 155. It was plenty. It was hard enough. Did my 5x10. Not only did it work my whole shoulder girdle, but it gave me grip work and a bicep pump. That's the thing I noticed with that movement. I get a bicep pump, and a lot of it does have to do with the fact that I grip it close. The EMGs show a lot more bicep activation that way. But why not? Why can't my shoulder exercises be arm movements? All right, why can't they? Since I'm not doing any real curls at the moment, all my rowing, my upright rows, all that stuff contributes to biceps. But it also does brachialis forearm grip. So then after that, we did 5 sets of lateral raises. All right, that's a complete shoulder workout. 5 sets of upright rows, 5 sets of laterals. Every head of the delt and the entire shoulder girdle, traps, upper back, everything. Everything is completely thoroughly worked. 10 work sets, and that's not counting the rowing or the benching. We did supersets with bands. I've been sticking with the blue band since I brought the bands back in after a week or so off. Building up the work capacity before I go up to something like the double reds again, right? A red in each hand, which again is the next tier up. But I got 40 reps on all the sets. I took them out to 8 sets. I did 8 sets. Remember, I built up to 10 at one time. I don't know if I was getting 40 reps with this for that many sets. You know, I think it was capping at like 25 once we got past 5 sets or so. So, again, triceps are getting stronger. We want to build those tendons, and I want to keep those tendons healthy. That not only helps with my lockout strength, it keeps my tendons healthy. And if I can keep the tendons healthy, I can get stronger at the JM presses, which works the tricep through really the whole range of motion, including that lengthening, which is what matters at the bottom and middle of the bench, right? So it matters coming out of the bottom. especially for someone like me who has massive lats I can slingshot off the bottom with. I'm doing close grip. The triceps matter a lot. That stretch position will impact that, but we're doing it with a big weight. So I'm hoping those JMs will carry over all the way through, and then the lockout itself, as far as that last bit, the work capacity that I build and the muscle fibers I build, again, due to the accommodating resistance, should carry over nicely there. But the whole idea is still just get the triceps big. And now we're doing two very, very different tricep movements with different rep ranges. Just maximize triceps, maximize the tendon health, and get those triceps big. I need to get them big. No joke. They've got to get bigger, guys. So this will do it. And these worked great. You know, there were people, I had other people laugh with me, other coaches and other people, like there were people clowning on my band press down saying they don't work. Yeah, you guys watched my close grip bench just climb back up when I was doing 10 sets of these twice a week. It didn't at first. It took a little bit, but that was because it took time to build the new tissue while I'm gaining. And I think I'm looking pretty thick right now. I think I'm looking pretty thick, and I'm actually at a nice athletic body fat, but we're going to trim down leaner. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.